Back to the moon once more. The Bears have been evicted, and instead we have a vaguely Roman-esque Legion marching on the moon. Hey, when you can't conquer the modern world anymore, why not go to areas yet unclaimed?
Yeah, it's gonna be Guerrillas versus Legionnaires. We'll see how that matches up now. On the defense, the Legion, of course, Pinker is gonna be running that Orisa, while Gods is on the defense. So they like to play a bit more, defensive, really allow Blase and Corey to try and carry on this defense so far. Last night's leftovers going with the 2-2-2, going straight for the dive, but oh, Dummy got caught out.
God just flanked around the side, caught Dummy on the flip, was even damage boosted all the while as Reach has no luck playing footsie with Blase in the back. It's gonna be a significantly strong hold here from the Legion to start things out.
Yeah, we'll see. LNL wasn't able to get much damage across. Whew. Fried does take some damage, so that's going to allow Ajax to build up his ultimate that much quicker. He's already at 40% now, but Rolf, he was doing damage on the opposite end himself. So take a look. He's already 50% towards his Transcendence now. Again, how are they going to deal with Blase and Corey? How are they going to try and evict them from the high ground right now? The dive is so difficult to execute. Halt right there. He gets
You see the confusion. They waited so long. That was just an extra 10 seconds they didn't need to wait. Sure, they lose Kevster on the flank. Rolf laying in the damage, but why would you sit there for that long? I get it. You're trying to figure out a battle plan, but that's time you're not going to get back as the Legion, again, just mow over last night's leftovers. Oh!
This is the same thing that we see coming out from a lot of the Orisas here. If you run into a dive composition up against Orisa and you try to take this high ground, the halt, it's going to stop the Genji. It's going to stop the Winston. If you try to run quad tank, well, the halt is you're going to stop it yourself. Like, it's so difficult to try and play up into this Orisa, and Kevster gets caught out.
I don't know what LNL is. They're taking so long to reset up. They've basically lost about 2 pushes they could have had here, pushes that could have drained things like a Transcendence, because it's just taking so long to reset up.
Yeah, Corey, he's got the infra side up, so LNL, they're gonna have to wait even longer now. They're gonna push in, but take a look, the hult's already been used, so that should be the go signal, but they took so much poke damage coming in.
Tire out, Blase looking for a bit of cleanup here. Not gonna connect with the tire, but already just God's having himself a ridiculous game. More kills off the flank. LNL rolls in, and it's just God's going like, hiya, kills 2. It gets another. I think right now, if we had a scoreboard, it'd be God's tripling the amount of kills of the rest of the team put together combined. It's been that crazy.
Yeah, I don't think LNL's gotten an elimination yet. So they're just struggling once again to get into high ground. Every time they do, the focus fire is there. Legion, anyone who takes the charge up onto that high ground just gets chunked down. They don't survive for long. And even when they try to avoid them and try to run to low ground, they're already so low. Take a look, Reach was 10 HP when he had to dash into there.
Yeah, you build up a blade, then you're wounded, then you can't use the blade, otherwise, of course, we're just gonna fall. Ideally, I think LNL would like to mix this with the Transcendence. Reach, ready with the blade, tell me about Ray, the move in Transcendence. This is the best opportunity they will likely get, even though it's likely going to be Transcendence v Transcendence in the moment. Legion still working with everyone, and the leftovers are taking so long to set this up. Maybe this time it's rewarded. Corey's down early on. You have to engage on this in full. They're waiting. Transcend out on both sides. Rolf does it a little bit later. It is an edge, and Reach is gonna wait this out. Wait, and then the Dragon Blade's gonna move out. Now you look to Reach. Blade, oh, he's blown up! The bomb beats the sword, and Blase at 30 HP has a tire.
That was into a trap, into the damage-boosted mine. Self-destruct coming on out. It might actually catch someone, but no. Instead, the sound barrier is there for the LNL squad. They've only secured 1 tick so far, but they are losing ground now. They've lost Dummy. Decod is gone, and so it's come down to the final 5 seconds. We're even seeing Ajax just try to get onto the point. It is being contested. We are in overtime.
The leftovers about to be put in the fridge once more here. The Legion able to maintain their form. They hold here on the defense, and now they don't have much to do for an attack on their own. And man, the thing that just blows my mind in this particular attack is that you want to get as many shots as you can. And there was such a long delay that wasn't always caused even by pickoffs from the LNL side there. Like, guys, throw yourselves on the point. I would say they lost at least 3 pushes they could have had just by indecision and indecisiveness.
The first time they touched the point was when they had about 1:30 left. Every single time their pushes were shut down by a simple halt coming out from Panker. And so now LNL are really up against it. 57.4%. That's all that they were able to secure. And you do not find yourself, you know, in a great position at that point. Like, it's nearly impossible here on point A. But we'll see if LNL can just get a full hold.
The only way they get a full hold is that, like any other full hold defense, where it's even worse than full hold. It's 57.4%, so it's about 40% beyond a normal full hold. Is Reach is outperformed at times in the series, but he's going to have to be practically God mode on this defensive Junkrat, and everyone else is going to have to play just very shut down. That's going to include, you're going to need picks from Kevster, you're going to need the supports to play back, not get early pick off, or get picked off early, because any early pick off, which it's very likely to happen with a Roadhog, would probably spell doom right now for LNL if it happened in a situation where Ajax couldn't get the res off.
And so now, never mind. I was about to say, Fried was on the Diva, but he's since swapped off onto the Roadhog, and I thought, no, they're going to try and emulate more of the Legion style. Take a look at this coming out. Blase sitting on the Sombra right now. So they've got the double flanker duty coming up from Blase and Corey. They can just both go onto the points, try and bait someone out, get the hack off, and then melt them. We'll see how well LNL can deal with this.
I'm totally fine with the Sombra pick here. I know normally we're pretty harsh on it, but all you need is one good team fight with an EMP, as Pooks is just barely able to get out.
That was a great setup. So Blase, he goes in for the stealth, and as soon as they go out through the corner, Gods is there with the defense matrix, and there they are, on the point already. But Bride starts it off, Panker has fallen. And
that's what he has to do, right? He needs to hook Panker in pretty much every time. Be anti-Winston duty, that's what we want to do in Hollywood. He succeeds here in the moment, but meanwhile the Legion already get a tick on the point. And they only need 2 ticks to win, a little bit under, so already the margin for LNL is gone, and that just can't happen. I'm sorry.
That cannot happen at all. So as it does reset, it's at 33%. That just means they need 24. 24%, that's all Gladiators Legion need at this point to try and finish this off. Panker already taking out Dummy. He does give his life for it, but will they be able to get the res? Ajax does.
Ajax gets the res, isn't punished for it. But remember, LNL now not even dealing with the margin of a full tick. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left for the Legion. And they're going to be looking to make this good push when they have EMP. And hey, Kevster having some good shots here, but it's just the beginning. They need so much more.
The thing is, with the decisiveness coming out from Legion, with the tempo that they're playing out right now, it's at 2 minutes and 25 seconds. So they've built up their ultimates. They're going to have an EMP before even the halfway mark here. So they're already setting themselves up at a great pace.
And I think they would be happy here not even opening with the EMP. Oh, Blase in trouble. He gets picked off, that'd be bad. That would delay the EMP perhaps to 2 fights from now. But I think Legion, they don't even have to spend anything here. Bait out the Tire, bait out the Valkyrie, even the Transcendence if need be, and let things go. You'll still have another good attack right after. They're going around. They're waiting for their opportunity here, and they're going to fly in with as much as they have, but again, I don't know if they're going to EMP here unless they get picked off. Oh, Reach gets 2. All right, now you hold it.
2, but Kevster falls for it. Now they will be able to get the res back into this, but that's great. They baited so much out, right? Rolf did use the Transcendence, but that is going to be the Valkyrie along with the Riptire gone now. But Corey takes out Ajax, and so Corey, he's in between spawn and point A. They have to be careful.
He's looking for the respawns right now. He wants to take that Tracer duel in the back line. That could be so effective. Meanwhile, the rest of his team is going in the front. So Corey, a distraction in the back. The rest of the Legion moving in the front. The EMP is well set up, and Dummy, he has to be able to transcend before Blase catches him here. That is incredible. Oh, he doesn't! The EMP removes Dummy from the fight. There will be no transcendence, and LNL likely about to lose this game as they're thrown forcibly off the point. The Legion take the series 3-0.
That was just beautiful coming out from Corey.
We saw a lot of excellent play on the side of the Legion, and we saw a lot of hesitation on the side of the leftovers. Where was that hesitation coming from?
It comes down to the halt from Theresa on the offense. That's what it was. Every single time that they try to push in, the halt was there. It stopped Winston from getting in. It also set up, the Junkrat damage. It was the same thing that we saw on Horizon earlier today.
So I think the halt was disruptive, but halt doesn't explain when you have them just sitting there behind, well before halt is in play, just sitting there waiting, contemplating, hoping for reconnaissance. You don't see teams do that, and for good reason. Is that, look, you have to deal with multiple impediments when you're trying to move in, but it's not going to help is waiting back and burning an extra 10, 20 seconds off the clock because you're living in mortal fear of getting hit by a halt or otherwise. There's no explaining that beyond the idea that there was some degree of confusion within the team, and that's a bad look when you're trying to even up a series.
All right, we've got some awesome playback. This is Corey on Tracer. Yeah,
this is where he equalized, and it was a great setup because from here, he is able to take out the Mercy, and we saw him starting to spawn camp. So he goes all the way towards point B, waiting out the Mercy to come back in. But the great thing was that the rest of his team was actually there to back him up. So they take the left-hand side. They put themselves, the entire team, in between the Mercy and the defense. And then from there, it was just easy to be able to pick them apart.
And don't forget, too, going into that very final fight, you also had the entire dynamic where EMP versus Transcendence, and it's hard mode for Zenyatta. Don't get me wrong, it is definitely favored for the Sombra. The Sombra is coming as the initiator, out of stealth, etc. But it was also a situation where if you don't transcend in time, if you let the Sombra kill you for free, now you don't have the Transcendence and you're just in a world of crap towards the very end. So that was a key interaction that went the way of the Legion and was a big factor in them just being able to wait for the EMP and take that final fight.
Is there anything that last night's leftovers can do in this final map to at least keep it from becoming a full sweep?
Honestly, when they went for this Orisa Hog setup, I understand it, right? It's sound. You should be able to try and deal with Pinker with Fried on the Roadhog himself, but the thing is, teams have proven in the past that a D.Va is more than capable of trying to deal with the Winston. So if you went with the Orisa D.Va, they might have had a lot more damage mitigation to try and deal with what they were bringing on the opposite side.
Well, we are moving into our final map of the evening, and this is going to be bringing us into Junkertown. They haven't, last night's leftovers has not been very solid on the defense so far. So what do you see that they need in this that you haven't seen from them so far?
Well, they have to hope that their pirate ship is sturdy, that it can sail the 7 seas, and that you have mistakes coming out from the Legion, because based on the totality of the gameplay we've seen so far, in the 3 maps of witnessed, and bearing in mind the team's histories, it's going to require both the Legion to play far below their norm and for the leftovers to play far above to have a chance of taking this map.
Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and get right into game. Here is our final map of the evening, Junkertown, Gladiators versus last night's leftovers. Can they keep it from being a sweep?
Man, that feel when you're Australian and you can't even call the Outback your home. Roadhog and Junkrat, where did you go so wrong?
Well, blowing everything up.
Yeah.
I mean, they're planning to blow up the Queen's domain. They're planning to blow up Junkertown. Maybe, not burning bridges, not blowing up bridges helps, definitely.
Look, I just think they're innovating the game. Most people say, as you mentioned, don't burn the bridge, but explode it into pieces. Make it sure that the ground around the bridge can't even be rebuilt on. But, you might have a point there. Either way, LNL on the attack, double sniper, and oh my word, Kevster's already taken down. The halt combo in play.
Yeah, they have been so spot on, the Legion have. Actually, a lot of our teams tonight have been with the Theresa. Reach on the right-hand side, tries to go for the grapple, but doesn't find anything. It is going to be, of course, that double sniper composition coming out from LNL. But the thing is, they are also running double support, so they don't have much else follow-up damage, but that doesn't matter if Reach gets the headshot.
Reach gets Blase early. Blase was a little bit too far out in the pressure, got punished for it in the beginning. Right? Looking in, and LNL actually not doing too bad here. You see that they got rope, they forced out the res. Kevster now getting some mileage on the Hanzo, and this is sort of LNL sticking the victory, right? Where you have to make this ship composition just get much more value than it normally would, and as far as pirate ships go, this is pretty decent.
Yeah, and so now Legion are making the swap-offs, right? Blase is going over to the Genji, and Pinker is picking up the Winston. So now, even though you are running that double sniper composition, you have to be worried because you know Panker is on the hunt for you. So it's going to come down to both Fried and Decod to try and shut them down with either the hook or the halt.
And LNL does not wish to stay on a sniper-based setup. Many teams will stay on it for a while. In fact, are they swapping off the Hog? It's probably going to be a Diva, and it is, but this also means you're going to have a lot less pressure on Panker moving forward. Either way, LNL swapping things up.
Yeah, this is, you know, dive versus dive at this point, but there's a clear difference between Panker and Decod right now. And of course, the synergy between Gods and Panker too. Oh, they jump onto the high ground, Reach just overreaching, gets taken out. Gods for the double kill. Now they go onto the point.
Gods has been much better at just converting on DPS opportunities here, where he's moving in with Panker much the same as he always has, but it's not a surprise we've seen him more reflected in the final blows here. He's been playing very mechanically well this entire game.
He has, and he's already built up, of course, that self-destruct. We'll see if he's able to find a good angle on it. I don't see too many until, you know, it gets into that hairpin turn. Oh, Panker.
Okay. Blink and you miss it, just a quick engage, a quicker follow through. And LNL, they can't even get through the front door.
Yeah, Panker's already, like, he just swapped off. He's 67% towards his primal rage now. Decod, similar timing, is 15-20% behind him. So we're seeing the difference in damage coming out between the two Winstons right now. Still, though, LNL, they have plenty of time. Ajax has swapped off. He's on to the Lucio. Reach is getting closer to that blade, but he still has to try and force out Rolf's Transcendence before this.
And one way you can force it. Oh, Dummy's down again. It was the flank from Panker. Panker was being sneaky in the back line, caught Dummy in the beginning, and look, what can you do as LNL aside from go, all right, back to spawn, try again, and yet time continues to tick.
Yeah, and with how quickly these eliminations have been coming out from the Legion, that has left no time for Ajax to heal at all. He's at 30%, he swapped off, and it's been about a minute and a half since he's gone onto this Lucio. And he's really struggling. Now they have caught him out. They might actually be able to take out Panker, but no, he's got the Primal Rage along with
and it's a later Transcend.
Oh, Reach.
It's a later Transcend by Rule Fear too. The Legion are going to be healthier for longer. They can commit to the counter dive way more easily. And we'll say, no, he doesn't get too much of the blade. It's the Panker and God show. And they're just bouncing right now. I mean, this is Fraggy Treehouse level bouncing. No, you may not use the bathroom. Get out.
So LNL forced to save basically most of their ultimates. Dummy, though, did use that trance, but that leaves them without a support ultimate going into this next fight. Ajax still struggling to heal with this Lucio, which is the difficult thing you find in these dive compositions. Reach almost got taken out there by Panker, but they have pushed in. Still, their whereabouts are known.
This is going to be one of the final opportunities here for the leftovers. They get Rulf early on. That's huge, but Panker coming in from the side. Both supports are down, so there's not going to be any more heals. There's no Primal Rage, and this is going to work out well for LNL. They went around the outskirts, they got the supports, and they finally bust down that front door.
That should not have happened. That should not have happened. Rolf should not have been caught out on that Zenyatta. He knew, because of Panker's positioning, that LNL had pushed in that way. Now Reach gets a great stagger onto Corey, and so now LNL are finally making up for lost time here. But Legion, they'll have another opportunity to defend this point.
Do you take it, though? A minute 43 left. Sure, you can open up the barrier here, but this could be a tragedy for the Legion. If they're not careful, they could be running into a very rough situation because, okay, you open up the barrier, Ajax counter barriers, and you get played. And LNL, they barrier first. That could be a bit of a mistake. It doesn't quite give them the tempo they want, but Rule dies first. Kevster got into the back, and Reach pulling out the blade, learns to fight, searching for Pooks. Oh no, he's not able to complete the kill. Has to go for the Diva instead. It's not quite the blade he was looking for, and Legion have a chance of fighting this one back despite the poor positioning.
Yep, Panker's still alive for now, but he is starting to get focused down. There is the blade coming out from Blase. He takes out Ajax, but he's got no HP behind it, so Reach will be able to finish him off. But because of that last minute contest coming out from the Legion, they were able to get about 40 seconds off. And so now it's going to be 2 minutes and 15 seconds for LNL as they move into third.
LNL starting to make up a little bit for lost time. 2 minutes is not that much here. I mean, bear in mind the payload takes about a minute to go from here to the end anyways.
Yeah, and already Legion are looking to defend the point before he even gets to this corner. Corey has his pulse bomb ready, along with God's self-destruct. They push and they force out the trance from Dummy.
Transcendence Force Panker bouncing in and around, looking for Dummy as soon as it is off. The self-destruct. Panker is not a coward. He's not a coward at all. Looks into the face of the self-destruct and is able to get out while still beating the D.Va half to death.
Yeah, he just knows the limits on this Winston so well. He is getting hunted down right now. We have Kevster in the back, about to get checked by Corey. So, we're coming down to minute 20 now for LNL. They've got a Blade once again on Reach.
Corey moving in from the backside. Panker in the front. Choose your door. Both doors lead in death. A beautiful pincer attack coming in from the Legion. My word.
Yeah, so Reach, he's going to hold on to that. Decod uses his Primal Rage, which just staggers him even longer and also just gets rid of that ultimate now. And that's an ultimate you want in this final push. You're down to 1 minute. LNL, they're going to be relying upon the Blade, the barrier, along with the bomb coming out from Kevster. Now, they were able to at least get the Transcendence out from Rolf in that last fight, but Pooks, he's got the tools to try and disengage. He's got the sound barrier. He's got the alternative fire to just boop, Reach back if he gets into the back line. They're in danger.
They're putting themselves so far out that Legion can engage before they get the barrier. Decod's already down the half HP. They're already in a tough position right now. Ajax, is he getting the barrier up? He does, but again, Decod's low. If Legion just waits a little bit, counter engages with the barrier, they lose. Look at this though, Reach in the back, got Pooks. Meanwhile, God's counters with the self-destruct. And now the Legion can go back in. They have a Blade of their own, and it's God's just continually keeping them in, even when LNL didn't have the worst of engages there.
Oh boy, they're trying their best to regroup, but Gods is hot on the tail, has to be careful, drops down to about 100 HP, force out the Transcendence early. God is ejected from his mech. So now here's the Blade from Blase with the help of Panker. Dummy has fallen, he's on the hunt. Ajax is not able to skate away from that. Blase trying to put an end to this now. Overtime ticking away, LNL just losing bodies.
And Panker, he's gonna be raging out here in a moment just to make sure, perhaps he holds it in. He goes, actually, no. He rages at the end just because. It's when you win the game.
It's for his stats, it's for his stats.
Look, it's one of those things where you win the game of Monopoly and you flip the board anyways because, I don't know, some abdicated of capitalism.
Primal Rage, yeah. But, I mean, right now, LNL, they are not looking confident in their play. And I would actually go to Reach. There was a moment on the second point where he was right on top of Pooks. He had his Blade ready. Pooks booped him away. Now, once you see that boop, you have your dash, you go in with that Blade and you finish off. That could have been the difference. That could have actually shut down the fight much earlier on and given last night's leftovers another 20-30 seconds, but he was just really indecisive with it, and it just looks like Legion might have just, you know, cut some of the confidence out of LNL's play.
The problem that LNL is going to have here as well is that Legion has historically had trouble on hard final points. This is not a hard map to complete, generally speaking. So LNL, if they want to have a chance of ending this year with an even better defense, at least getting one map win and maybe enabling a few handful of scenarios where they somehow get in. I don't think they can. I think LNL actually has to win the series to still be in, but even if there was a possibility, my word, they would have to win this year, and it's not looking particularly likely.
Yeah, it is incredibly close. I believe we have 2 teams currently sitting at 2-2. One team at the Grizzlies currently at 1-3, and Toronto at 3-1. So yeah, the window is closing for LNL. There might be a slight chance. We'll have to check the numbers after the results from tonight. We'll see. It's very close.
The Legion on the attack, they will be pressing Panker in the service on the Orisa, where again, you just continually see these variations on pirate ship compositions. But the one thing that's pretty standard is you run the double sniper. Corey on the Widow, Blase on the Hanzo, and this double pressure will convince.
Yep, Corey already got some chip damage off, but so did Kevster on the opposite end. LNL now retreating back, trying to cover their angles a little bit more, but that does allow Corey to step forward. Oh!
Okay. Well,
Kevster looked him right in the eye. But now he's not even going to allow him to try and get this res for free. Take a look at how much they have to actually commit onto that. They brought the entire team over to cover Ajax's resurrection.
Meanwhile, the payload moves along. And Blase, good positioning here in the back. Can put plus pressure to the Widow and others. Panker trying to shoot the feet right now. Not a bad idea in the least. And Ajax gets caught. It's Blase with the headshot from the side. And LNL, look at how badly they're getting poked down. Reach is almost gone. Decod's almost gone. When does the dam break? The answer, of course, is now.
Yeah, with losing Ajax, your tanks are just going to instantly fall. There's no way that Dummy is able to heal this up. Dummy, is he going to be able to keep himself up? No, Gods is able to hunt him down now, and so there's no chance whatsoever for LNL to come in for a contest. They have to reset completely now. 5 minutes and 13 seconds as we move on to the second phase of Junkertown.
No one can hide.
Well, Corey, get a Widow sight up. The Legion working with plenty of room, and so far they're not going to swap like LNL did. They're going to go, we have faith in our double snipers. As Corey looking for the early pickoff. Of course, LNL realizes that that's there, but you look at Blase on the other end, about to have a Dragon Strike, and he still has a good idea where everyone is.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, you don't stop running it until it doesn't work anymore. Blase goes for the blind Dragon Strike, nothing really coming of it. He even got the damage boost there from Pooks, hoping to find someone, but still, that puts the fear into LNL. Now they are on the low ground to try and contest here.
Look, that Dragon was a gourmand. He doesn't want leftovers. He wants fresh food. He actually just kind of turned himself away in the moment. But LNL going to try to move in here, but Reach gets caught a little bit too far deep. Now, the rest of the team not with him in turn. The Transcends is up here from Dummy, but does he use it? He does, under pressure, pulls it into the fight, is able to get Decod back up, so now we're back even, 5 on 5. Corey doesn't have the best sight lines here on the top. Most of the fight going down the bottom. The Winston shield blocking him in the moment. And all the while, the payload is still moving, so LNL at some point needs to bring the fight there.
Ajax needs to get some heal off, but no, Decod was way out of line of sight. Ajax was so close to getting that nano. That could have been huge for Decod. They are answering back. Panker has fallen here. The Transcendence is being used by Rolf. During that time, though, Fried is just coming up for LNL.
Fried doing his best Gods impression. This is what Gods was doing on the defense, kill after kill, and the Legion, after a promising start, they're gonna get pushed back a bit here, and it might take them a push or two to recover, but Panker, he's had enough of being an Omnic. He's a scientist.
He is indeed, and we're seeing a lot of changes coming out now from the Legion. Corey going over to, of course, the Tracer, and Blase will pick up the second half of that DPS pair with the Genji, Panker, the Winston, and Pooks now going over to the Lucio here. And so once it stops working, they will change off. No hesitation whatsoever coming out from Legion.
Legion? Oh, well, there's some hesitation. You get slept, Corey sleeping on the job, and yet they're not able to punish it. I think Decod might have been working over there, gets caught by Gods. Now your sleep has turned into a 65 against you. Ajax under pressure. First the Tracer, then the Winston moving to the back. He's able to shake the pressure, but for how long? Down to the slimmest of HP, can't easily get back into the fight. Fried's gonna drop the self-destruct while Reach works into the back, and he's gonna remech himself. So LNL not doing bad. Here comes the Blade, and this is gonna finish Legion off once more.
Unless Blase has something to say about it. Reach will get the D-Mech, but still, the damage has been done. Legion need to reset here. God's trying his best to get his mech back, but he will get staggered. Primal Rage used by Decod there, even though they had largely won that fight. It's not the worst thing in the world to lose.
2 minutes left. If the Legion want to have a clean sweep, bear in mind they have already gotten the series, but LNL fighting here at the end.
Yeah, they are definitely scrapping with Legion now. Ajax, he's got the nano boost. We'll see. It should more than likely go onto Decod, but they've got to get that synergy down. Last time, Decod was just out of line of sight for the heals. He's got to stay within LOS for Decod.
Panker, meanwhile, looking for the proper engage. Backed up by Gods as always. They're buying time for Blase. What else? Panker dives in. Ajax, nowhere to go but down. They get Panker, but the damage has been done. They lose their support in the back. And oh, Blase, that is Christmas for a Genji. Christmas, I tell you. Gets the pull at the blade as Transcendence ends. Takes down Dummy in 2 slices. Dashes away. Up from above. Falls right on down. And Blase playing this quite well as the Legion will move into second.
Yeah, you could see him. It was salivating for that Dragon Blade the entire time. Pulls it out as soon as the Zenyatta's ultimate was about to end there now. So, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, about the same pace as LNL, really. So we move on to third here, but they've got some great tools to try and maintain this hold now and try and buy time, most importantly, for Ajax and Dummy to try and get their ultimates up. They've got the self-destruct, they've got the pulse bomb. We'll see if Kevster can try and shut down this push.
This is where getting contribution from Kevster would be so good for the leftovers right now. They're going to open up with one type of bomb, the bomb from Fried, and Fried's not able to remech. Gods punishing him for the attempt. What a turnaround. The self-destruct does nothing. You lose your Diva. You lose your Winston. This is all sorts of bad news for LNL.
This is terrible. Look, Ajax still at 15% on that Lucio. Dummy not even halfway there towards his Transcendence. Blase will get his blade before him.
Reach going to be the crux here for LNL. Can he bring this blade to the back? Can he deal with the barrier? The barrier's first, he gets to wait. Nope, he's lost Econ here. The longer he waits, the more teammates he's gonna lose. He's still waiting. Core in the bottom, sticks. D-Mech in progress. Reach has pulled out the blade, but it's just not going to get through the Transcend. Rulf was able to bring that up. Reach has to back away. He's so far from the payload. His payload moves over and over, gets to the golden box of victory, and the Legion bring out the brooms. The leftovers are going in the bin.
So this is it for the leftovers then.
Very nearly. I mean, I don't know if they're completely mathematically out. There might be a chance that they sneak in on fourth. I need to check this after.
It's not looking good. It would require, at the very minimum, a complete miracle scenario. So the leftovers now, this is where, okay, maybe start getting some insight on the open division teams that will be coming to challenge you because, of course, if you don't make one of the main 4 playoff spots, you are subject to relegation, where the teams that get through open division get their shot of getting into Contender Season 2.
Alrighty. So we saw a lot of amazing play throughout this whole series from Panker and Gods. We are assuming that they are going into the playoffs. There's no reason that they wouldn't be. Who from Group B would be their counter?
Who from Group B would be their counter? Well, it depends on how the seeding ends up working. I think there'll be a high enough seed that they don't have to run into like a Fusion or an Optic to begin with. But really, any team that has a good flanking DPS setup, like someone like...
My chair broke.
Sorry.
Oh.
I feel like a Muppet over here. But yeah, I mean...
You know what? Look, we need to have more disparity. I'm just going to stand up. Like, well, this is a very height-diverse desk.
Here, hang on. We'll just...
No. Now I feel self-conscious. No. I'm not standing up.
No, he's going to stand above us all. No. Stand tall, ZP. There it is.
All right. You want this? Fine. Who needs height anyways?
Mike's still going down, by the way, so I can feel it inching down for some reason.
We will catch you on the other side of the earth, Jamerson.
All right, so we'll just continue our broadcast from this incredibly serious and professional position. Okay, so you're thinking from Group B, depending on seed, they really don't have too much of a counter.
Well, no. I mean, for Group B, it depends on who they're up against. I'd say that the counter to the Legion is that you have to punish them on flanking DPS, right? Is that we saw that from Toronto, and there's also teams in Group A, you know, like your Fusions and Optics and NRG to a degree as well, that can very much challenge even on the tank side, while, you know, challenging on the other aspects of gameplay as well. I think overall Group A is it's weaker than Group B. I think objectively that is accurate. So I think most of the teams that come out of Group B could give the Legion a run for their money.
Yeah, Group B is kind of just that group of death at this point. I mean, because of the way the format works out, we split it up, of course, you know, two groups of 6, and it was very heavily weighted, I would say, onto Group B's side. But we'll see, really, how the skill levels break down once we do get into playoffs. That's what I'm really looking forward to in 2 weeks' time. Okay, well, let's take a look at our Old Spice Player of the Match. This is our final one for today, and of course, we'll be going to Panker.
Why not?
I mean, he was doing a great job. I mean, we know his Winston play is solid, but he was also doing an amazing job on the Orisa. He had some great holds. He was shutting down.
Oh!
Yeah, that was actually beautiful.
Yeah, the good imposter is like, it's like, I will grapple. Oh my God, he's still chasing me. Wait, this is a living nightmare.
So you were saying he also had some really solid plays on Orisa.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see on Horizon earlier how you're supposed to utilize that Orisa when you're on the high ground and you're trying to counter either a tank or even a a dive or a quad tank setup. That halt is so immensely powerful. We saw on a few pushes that when Decod or Reach tried to jump up, the halt was right there and it just stopped the push right then and there. And Panker has really gotten more used to Orisa at this point.
All right, well, let's take a look at our stage.